Is it possible to learn to program in Python in a few hours, like search results on YouTube make you believe, or not? This is the question that I'm answering in this video. Welcome back to Saravji. Today I want to explore the question, is it possible to learn Python in a few hours? The reason why I'm exploring this question is that when you're actually looking on YouTube and start typing into the search bar learning Python, the first few entries that are actually coming up in this search result is Python in 4 hours, a full course. Then we have Python in 1 hour, a Python full course with 12 hours, Python 0 to a hero in 5 hours, a full course. Learn Python in 5 minutes. That is just remarkable. So this creates the impression and the expectation that it should be possible to learn Python in a few hours. Is this possible? First of all, I think it is possible to have 4 hours of video material that explains the fundamental aspects of Python. What I mean with this is you won't be able to learn programming on this video. You will be able to understand the language if you have programming experience, if you know what it means to program, and you have a lot of experience with another language. So a video with a few hours then can build the basis that you know how the things that you already know work in Python. This is possible. Is it possible to learn to program for somebody who is not a programmer, who has never programmed, in a few hours? No. Very clear and simple, no. I'm teaching Foundations of Programming course for continuum college, so adult education at the university here. And I can confidently say, if you put in about 100 hours, you kind of get an idea what programming is. If you invest about 200 hours, you have a solid foundation on which you can start building how to properly program and start building your actual programming skills. So I would say it takes about 200 hours that you have a solid foundation that you can start going on your own. And this experience is after 3 years teaching this course and at the local university and having seen about 250 students going through these materials. So I would say that yes, I have a good idea of what it means to go from I have no idea what programming means to being able to have a foundation to help yourself getting to the next steps, to being able to do your own research, to being able to actually read and understand the documentation, to being able to know when to regroup and frame the question differently for a new approach. All these fundamental things that are part of programming need time and some experience and a lot of mistakes and lessons learned out of the mistakes, that you can say that you learned how to program. Now, the 200 hours is not going to be giving you an expert programmer. There is still a few hundred hours left to actually do to get to a sufficient level. But the 200 hours are a good foundation. So I want to simply clarify that these impressions that you get on the search results on YouTube, or I could bet also on Google or LinkedIn or you name it, they are not lies, but they don't apply for somebody who needs to learn to program. You can learn Python if you have several hundred hours of programming experience, if you don't need to learn to program. If you are programming in a different language, it takes those few hour videos, and that is realistic, to use them as a reference to have an understanding on how basic concepts work in Python. So it is just a transfer learning for the dialect of Python. But you can't learn to program from nothing, anything significantly less than 200 hours. That is my experience, and I simply want to clarify that these expectations that these search results create are not realistic. I appreciate you dropping by. Please subscribe. I'm done here. Fire to that.